and welcome to Misfits on Vinyl. My name is Spencer Strikert. I am an actor, comedian, and one of your hosts.
My name is Aaron. I am also one of your hosts.
And also an actor.
It's true. I've given up now. I don't even have rebuttals anymore. It's like...
That's actually good because I have no more interesting witticisms to make it seem
I know.
like
I've just given up. Last episode, I was like, you said it, and I was like, yeah, I'm an actor. And then like 2 seconds, I was like, let me think about that again. I've given up. I've given up on it. I've given up. I've quit my job. I've just gone to the actor lifestyle now.
You're now an auditioning actor.
Yes.
Yeah.
With no auditions, which is like most actors. So.
You know, yeah, that is. Honestly.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is when actors will post and be like, I got an audition, because I always found that weird because I was always like, that's like being at Starbucks and being like, I made a coffee. Like, yeah, that's a part of it, dude. Like,
so I actually have a funny story about an audition I did. I don't know if I ever told you this. This would have been like I was in high school. I was in grade 12, and this is before we went to university, before we even met. But I was like putting out shit on like.
This was BS before Spencer.
Yes, before Spencer. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's how I keep track of my life. Actually, it's like a big turning point. Before Spencer, after Spencer.
After Spencer.
Yeah, things were going up, and then
So
I met you. And then
it's either BS or ass.
Yeah.
Before Spencer or after Spencer Strikert.
Perfectly describes the trajectory of my life. Anyways, so I was doing this audition, and like I can't remember what it was, some fucking like knockoff website for auditions or whatever, like one of those shitty ones. And I went to this audition. It was like some movement-based theater, and I didn't even know what the fuck movement was. So I did Lowlights. I picked a song. It's like, pick a song and come dance, like come do a movement piece. So I like picked Lowlights by Kanye West, and I made the shit up. I was just like rolling around on the floor, and then I did like a bunch of like wacky shit, and then the worst thing could possibly happened. They asked me to like go back and do it again.
Oh no!
And I was like, I made this shit up. I even said, I was like, I just made it up.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Man, and now you would say I improvised.
Yeah. No, I was like, I really like this song, and I just kind of went with it. Is I think what I said. It went horribly wrong. They didn't even email me to tell me I didn't get it.
Oh god,
yeah,
that hurts.
Yeah, no, it was bad. I just like I literally like had no idea what I was. Just like rolling around the floor, I was like doing things with my hands.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No, I hate movement based auditions because I've never done well with them.
I think I looked like a 90s magician. I was like doing a lot of hand movements.
You were David Blaining it up.
Yeah. I was like sprucing up a shit. It was really nice. It was like polishing a turd. It was actually my inspiration.
You were like this, like okay, so before we get into anything, we gotta plug the Vito's.
Of course. Sorry.
Because I forgot to do that last week, and I felt bad about it afterwards, but we do have them listed underneath all of our stuff, so please go check them out or pre-order their vinyl. I have to pre-order it still. I've fucked up and I keep forgetting to do it, so I need to do that.
Nice.
Pre-order their vinyl so that we can review it as soon as it comes out.
We can split it, and then we can go to court and like share it like a child.
That's actually a really good
custody,
idea.
Yeah.
I want weekdays.
Oh, weekdays. You know what? I could have fun with the Vito's album on the weekend. So,
yeah.
You know what? That's like the better of the two. It's like I got free time. I don't have to go to work.
See, and like weekdays are like my weekend. Because I do comedy, so my fucking weekends are my work week, and the rest of it I fucking...
The old Tuesday morning, Saturday.
Tuesday morning. Let's go. Okay, so I got some gigs to plug. This Friday, because this episode's coming out this week, I believe. This Friday, I'm at Lethbridge at Good Times, Friday and Saturday, but on Friday... we're doing a special show with the CBC.
Ooh.
So be sure to come out, Lethbridge. It's going to be fun. It's me, Faris Haitia, and Brittany Lysing. Brittany, obviously, who everybody knows from the podcast, and also probably from her numerous television credits.
Yes.
But, I would assume maybe those more so than us. But
she's a big fish, and she came to our little pond.
She's a big fish, and she did our tiny podcast, which is appreciative.
Our koi fish pond.
Our koi fish pond.
Yeah, in a like a Benihana's.
Dude, we're like we are legitimately like beta fish in a hot pot on the stove.
Nice. Do you know like the little things they keep them in at the pet store. They're like way too small for them.
Oh yeah,
that's us.
That is us.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of us on the shelf.
Which I think, like, now that I think about it, it's kind of torturous. Like, they sit them all next to each other in this little thing, and they just like ram their heads agagens the.
Oh yeah, but all
they
you
do
for
is fight.
Picking us up off the shelf and taking us home.
Oh.
To our listeners.
Yeah. That's nice. What an analogy.
What an analogy.
What a metaphor.
We are in your ears of your home. Anyways, yeah, so this Friday at Good Times is going to be really fun. And then this is a little bit more serious, but I'm organizing a fundraiser show for Sandy Cooper Black. He's a young kid who lives right near where I grew up in southwest Saskatchewan. And just before the new year, he was at a rodeo in Brooks, and he ended up breaking his neck on a bronc. He's in the spinal care unit at the Foothills Hospital right now. And so because of the long-term costs that are going to go into, like, since he's now paraplegic, there's going to be a lot of long-term costs in terms of like getting their house set up to have, you know, have it be wheelchair accessible, and like, you know, renovating showers and everything like that, as well as the cost of being in the spinal care unit for a long term. So I'm organizing a comedy show. I've got a really good lineup. I got Cowboy Cole Robertson, who everybody might know from TikTok and everything. He goes viral on there frequently. I got him. I got Amol Suri. I got Gabby Rose. I got Brittany Lysing.
Nice,
I got
dude.
Dale Ward. I got Corey Mack. I got Lori Gibbs. And I'm forgetting someone, but Mark McHugh. And there's one other person I forgot. But they're all volunteering their time. So 100% of the proceeds from this are going to go to Sandy Cooper Black's family and his recovery fund. I talked to his mom about it, and his mom was really happy with the idea.
Nice.
I'm gonna go visit him this week at the hospital and just, you know, try and lift his spirits up a bit, because I mean, I kind of related to it because I saw, you know, a lot of myself in that kid. Like, obviously there were some parallels about like where we grew up and like rodeo and everything, and it just kind of like, it really affected me. Like, it hit me hard, so I wanted to do something, and I figured, you know, if I've got the ability to help out in any way, I should, especially because this is a cool thing. The GoFundMe that is raising money right now, they just crossed $100,000.
Nice.
So that's really good. And Coulter Wall actually knows Sandy pretty well, so he's donating 100% of the proceeds from his album Western Swing and Waltzes, or Western Waltzes and Swing. I forget the name of the album, but if you look it up, you will be able to find it on iTunes. It went to #1 on iTunes because of this, and a lot of people are buying it. So yeah, good job for Coulter Wall for doing it. And yeah, if anybody wants to check out the GoFundMe, I'll link it below everything here. And yeah, please come out to the show. It's going to be really good.
When and where is the show?
So the show's going to be at the Tea House. It's going to be February 1st. 7 p.m.
Nice.
So early show on a Wednesday, but definitely worth it, and it's same ticket prices as normal. We will have, you know, we'll give everybody there the option to like donate more. But I wanted to make sure that, like, you know, we could sell out the show and make it like worth it. So we kept the ticket prices the same. So I hope to raise about $500 for this cause. So.
Nice. I'll be there.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. All right. With that being said, we're going to get into the episode now. So we actually, this week, I'm going to pull out the album first. We're covering one of my favorites, A Great Big Pile of Leaves, PONO. I'm really excited about this. But what I'm even more excited about is that we have a pre-recorded interview with A Great Big Pile of Leaves that we are going to play for you right now. We didn't know the answers to these questions. So listen accordingly.
Enjoy the fun that ensues. And I hope they mess with us a little bit too.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope there's some one-word answers.
Yeah, I do. Thanks for yanking my joke and robbing it.
Dude, I had to yank something, okay? I didn't whack off this morning.
I know it's earlier than we usually do the podcast. Usually have time.
I have a glistening beam of sunlight on my face. That's how early you know it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to get into the interview now, so take a listen. All right, welcome to the show from A Great Big Pile of Leaves, one of the band members. I actually don't know who it is that's going to be answering the question.
Interesting.
So
this is fun.
This is
this is a very unconventional interview.
This is a very unconventional interview. Okay, so the first question that we have for you is, your lyrics are fun and have a combination of sentimentality and goofiness. How do you come up with the ideas for your songs about singing in the kitchen or adopting a pet mouse?
Hey, this is Tyler from Great Pile of Leaves, spelled Tyler My last name is Soucy, Tyler Soucy. I play drums in A Great Pile of Leaves. Thanks for having me. I hope I don't ruin your podcast. I think a lot of those things just come from Pete. Pete writes all the lyrics for sure. The pet mouse was like an actual mouse that was in our apartment, and we have a song called Learn to Share from our first album that is about a spider that Pete saw hanging from a vent in his kitchen. So those were just like sparks of something, and then he created an entire song out of them. I think the Learn to Share he was actually writing at the moment when he saw the spider. So yeah, just stuff like that. And I think most of it comes from life experiences of Pete's, and he likes to kind of put them behind random objects or food. He likes to use those as the storytelling vessel, I guess. But yeah, lyrically I have absolutely nothing to do with it.
That was both sentimental and goofy.
That was both.
One question, I guess. We were doing a lot of research into the band, trying to find out some more information about you guys, and you guys are a little bit, hard to find stuff about. So we were curious, how did you guys meet? How did you guys first get together and start playing together?
Pete and I met, the band that I was in before this was touring, and we needed a bass player on the tour, and Pete joined. He was a friend of a friend. He was more of a songwriter and guitar player. He had never played bass before, but he bought a bass, came out on tour with us, and then that ended up being the last tour we did with that band. So Pete had a bass, had a guitar, songwriter, already had some songs written, and I had recording gear. So after that band fizzled out, we kind of just recorded like 5 songs, I think, 5 or 6 songs, and those just ended up being the Fireworks EP. And we didn't pay anything to record. We were just kind of messing around in my childhood bedroom, writing and recording these songs. We had no idea what we were doing. I might argue we still don't, but yeah, it was just fun, and we put the songs out on the internet for free, and people started reacting and responding to them. And then I think after we wrote the second Fireworks EP, we kind of wanted to play shows, so we put out a Craigslist ad for a bass player, and Pete and I were living in New York at this time, and Tucker was maybe the first person that answered to that. I don't even remember, but at least the first one we wanted to talk to. We checked out his stuff. He played upright bass a lot. He was in jazz bands. He was in different bands throughout the city. So we already knew he could play, and we just wanted to hang out with him and make sure we got along. And we got along great. And yeah, it's been the 3 of us since maybe 2009, I think. So yeah, that's been great. And we played our first show in 2009, maybe. And a bunch of people from different states came, and it was kind of cool to see how far those EPs had gone and reached people on the internet, because we had no evidence of it before playing that first show. But yeah, that's how we met.
Well, that fills all the gaps.
I can't believe it was an Olive Garden.
An Olive Garden in Italy.
Italy.
Wow, what an origin story.
Okay, so our next question is, in the time away, we saw some things about making the recording studio, but was there anything else in that time that led to you guys wanting to take a break from touring?
Just life. I think we had been focusing so much energy on the band physical and mental energy. And not that we toured more than any other band, but it's like we were just all in that mode of like, this is like we're 100% in, like this is what we want to do, we're doing it. So even when you're not on the road, you're like thinking about being on the road and like wanting to be on tour, wanting to write music. So I think it just occupied so much of our headspace for those years that like we just wanted to get to a point where our lives felt a little more balanced. We wanted to experience other things in our lives, and we wanted to find a way to make the band work within that. We never wanted to stop doing it. We never really did stop. We stopped touring in like 2016 or 2017, and that was with the intention of writing and recording a new album, because we just didn't want to keep playing the first two albums for 8 years. So we just started building the studio after that. But yeah, I think it was just one of those things where we really wanted to continue to have this be like a really positive and fun thing in our lives, and not this all-encompassing thing that ate into other parts of our lives. But yeah, it's been so rewarding for all of us to be able to continue to do this band and continue to talk to people like you guys and anyone else on the internet or everyone at shows when we played shows. It was always so gratifying.
Wow, I can't believe that. That's crazy.
That's really nuts.
That's really nuts.
I can't believe you guys did all of those things in all that time. That's insane. So you guys obviously play lots of shows and have seen lots of places, especially the Olive Garden in Italy, where you guys all met, I'm assuming. What's the best city you guys have played in? What's your favorite city to play in, if you were to pick one?
Oh, they're all great. I don't know. I don't think I mean, New York City, Brooklyn always feels like home. Those shows are always fun. The energy's great. So many. I mean, Boston, Philly, Atlanta, Orlando's always been really awesome. Houston, Denver, Detroit, I mean, everywhere. LA, Seattle, San Diego. I'm probably missing some, but I don't know. We've had great experiences in most cities, and those like major markets are always so much fun just because you have so much more opportunity to play in front of more people. And those are just the cities you end up hitting the most, anyways, when you're going out on tour with other bands, especially. So you kind of get to know people in each city, and that's like a really comforting thing to have on tour, just because you're in the band so often, you're like seeing the same few people every day. So it's really nice to be able to like go to those cities and reconnect with people that we've grown relationships with or friendships with, just from being there frequently. So I hope we can get back to that at some point soon.
I have yet to play any of those cities.
Wow.
It's almost like I can't work in the U.S. yet.
No, that's crazy.
Okay, so obviously, if you've been touring, like you have to try out different restaurants on the road, and when you're coming up as an artist and you're broke, you have to get creative with meals, but and what you eat. But what would you say is like your number one meal recommendation?
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask. I mean, I love food. Food's fantastic. As far as like meals I make myself, I've been focusing a lot of energy on like making curries or making Brussels sprouts. I'm trying to perfect a recipe. Not going so well. Roasted carrots, pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. Food's so good. I think I just ate, so I'm not super hungry, and it's hard for me to talk about food. Banana bread, actually. It's not a meal, but it could be a meal, but I've been really into eating banana bread this past year. Not making it, just eating it.
Whoa. tuna in Kraft dinner? Spencer did that one time and left the pot outside for 3 fucking months.
I did. I ruined a pot that
Yeah,
we had.
you ruined a pot. Now, a question too, I think, because you guys do kind of do a little bit of self-reflection in your music and, look back on the past and look, forward to the future and talk about getting older and growing up. If you were to go back and give your younger self, whatever age, you can pick wherever you want, a piece of advice, whether that pertains to your music career or just to general life, what would you say? And why would you give that piece of advice?
I think like specifically for music is just to like always have fun be something you're focusing on. Always make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing and the people around you are enjoying what you're doing and what they're doing. Because it's none of this is worth it unless it's not fun, and I think that's with like any creative endeavor. And sometimes you lose that because you're just like you become so overtaken with this idea of success, which is different for every person in the world. But like it's tough not to compare your success to someone else's success, and I think that really takes the fun out of what you're doing. And then I think when what you're doing is not fun anymore, I think your creativity struggles. I think what you're making struggles. So yeah, I would just go back and tell myself to focus on letting it be fun, because that's all that matters.
Wow, that brought a tear to my eye.
That brought 2 to my eye.
Wow. You have 2 tear ducts in one eye?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just one singular eye. They're on both sides.
They're
and
on one side.
They come together and make a big tear.
Okay, so obviously it was 8 years between You're Always on My Mind and PONO. Now, I have a question. As somebody who is a big fan, I'm really interested. What does the next chapter of A Great Big Pile of Leaves entail?
Hopefully some shows at some point. I have no idea. I'd love to play shows. We'd love to play shows. I think it's a tough hurdle to get over when, we've all been stuck in our homes for a year and a half, and then like things start to open up, and it's tough to go from that to going to being in a room with 500 people. So I think we'll get there. I hope we get there. But yeah, so we talk about shows a lot, but I think just more new music. We've got the studio that we'll finish at some point, and then we've been throwing around some ideas for new songs and hopefully a next record. So yeah, hopefully more new music in the next year or two.
Holy shit, stadium tour?
Wow. That's enough chapters for a full novel.
That is
you guys have some big plans.
That is a Jane Eyre sized plan.
So when you're doing your stadium tour, are you guys coming to Calgary? You have a lot of fans here in Calgary, and if you were to come, you could play Folk Fest or Sled Island. Do you have any plans to come to Calgary, or are you even aware that you have so many fans here in Calgary?
Folk Fest would be cool. Would we fit the bill? Sled Island, I don't know. Sled Island, sorry. I don't know what that is. But I'll look them up. I'll look both of them up to make sure I know what I'm talking about after this interview. But yeah, we've only played Toronto and Montreal on tour, and we may have played Vancouver once, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we haven't gotten out to like the western side of Canada very much. I have a bunch of family in Canada. Crossing the border is always a stressful endeavor, but yeah, I'd love to make it happen. I'd love to play everywhere we've been and as many new places as we can, and hopefully it happens someday.
Just like Forrest said, we are really like the Miami.
Yeah, the Miami of the north.
Of the north.
No water.
No water.
No real beachfront.
No.
There's the sandy beaches on the river, I guess.
Yeah.
I might say Miami definitely has more cocaine.
Well, I don't know.
Tough to say. I mean, you were a doorman at a bar.
That's true.
Yeah.
I will say that I have been threatened more times in Calgary, Alberta than I have been in Miami.
Have you been to Miami?
No.
Okay,
so
actually,
this is my last question for you guys, and it's sort of a big one, but when you guys are jamming and you're starting to come up with, various song ideas, who's usually the one that initiates the riff?
The riff usually comes from Pete, for sure. He's got a lot in his back pocket, and he's always coming up with new little doodlies. So yeah, it's just fun to jam on that stuff when we're practicing. Tucker sometimes will pop up with something. Sometimes I'll just like play a beat, and either one of them will start playing along to it. But yeah, I don't know. There's I feel like with our music, there's kind of just this like unspoken thing where like I'll have a part that's just been in my mind for a really long time, and it'll just match up perfectly with something Pete randomly shows me. And not even something like in 4/4, it'll be like a really weird time signature, and I'm like, this thing fits exactly. So yeah, stuff like that's cool. Those are like the most magical moments. And with PONO, since we had the studio, we got to do a lot more of that, kind of just like jamming on ideas and playing with ideas. As Where You're Always on My Mind was a little more like Pete was coming to us with like fully realized demos that Tucker and I would just write drums and bass over. So yeah, it's cool to kind of get back to us being in a room and feeling that energy of the song.
No way that your mom starts playing the songs first, dude. No way.
That's wild.
You're talking out your ass.
Okay, well, you know what? Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I'm bummed that we couldn't have done this live, but I'm so happy that my favorite band was on my podcast. I just have to say that right now.
Amazing.
I'm like, oh, that brings a tear to my eye. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I hope this is what you're looking for. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let me know if you have any questions or if I need to fix anything that I did terribly wrong. All right, thank you.
Brilliant.
What a fantastic interview, honestly. 10 out of 10.
I never knew what they were going to say. I never knew what was coming.
I never knew what was coming.
No.
I also really didn't know what questions we were going to ask.
No,
so,
we still haven't figured that out
We
yet.
still haven't figured that out yet.
But great interview. Thanks for coming on.
Great interview. We are recording the questions after we get done the regular podcast.
No, we're just sending them blank video, dude.
Yeah. We're sending... Okay, so... A Great Big Pile of Leaves PONO. It was released by Top Shelf Records, which if you are a fan of the podcast and you listen on YouTube, you might have seen that sticker on my laptop. It was released by Top Shelf Records on the 13th of August, 2021. It's their third full-length album, and it's the band's first in 8 years. It's an indie rock album with tones of emo revival drums, math rock guitar, slow and low vocals, and alt blues bass. It's got like a real cool... funky combination that kind of like sets this mood of nostalgia just in how it sounds. It really sounds like a jam sesh at a college party was recorded.
Well, like listening to it for me, I was like, oh, this is like the perfect sitting in a park in the summer, having beers sort of music.
Yeah.
Put a blanket down, fucking like my favorite summertime activity, man.
Yeah.
Sitting in a park, drinking beers, sitting in the sun, listening to good music.
Listening to good music, maybe tossing the bee.
Yep.
You know,
tossing the frisbee.
Tossing the
Definitely.
frisbee. I remember it wasn't PONO, but I remember when we were in Toronto, we were listening to Bahamas, and we were listening to You're Always on My Mind while we were on the beach tossing the frisbee. Yeah. So it's funny because I have so many memories with this band. Like, just their songs have become soundtracks to different aspects of my life. But I think it's funny because I wrote this down. For people that haven't heard A Great Big Pile of Leaves yet, think Mac DeMarco for people who are actually alt.
Fair enough. And less fingers in the bum. Like, I don't know what they do in their personal life. I know Mac DeMarco on stage likes to finger his butthole. So
yeah, less of that.
Yeah.
A lot less of that.
Yeah.
I've watched a few of their live recordings, and they're very mellow and chill on stage, but they're still super high energy. It's a weird combination. Okay, so the album title actually means righteous in Hawaiian.
Nice.
Which is cool because a lot of people thought that it meant the old MP3 player that is defunct that was called
the
PONO.
old PONO.
The old PONO. But no, it means righteousness in Hawaiian. And its themes are a mix of reminiscing over old simple pleasures of adolescence while coming to terms with the monotony of adulthood and finding joy through it all. I think it's funny because one of my this is like my only criticism across all of their albums, and just it's a style thing, but it works. It again goes back to what we were talking about with Bon Iver. There's a lot of times where I don't necessarily excuse me. There's a lot of times where I don't necessarily Robitussin. I'm not me when I'm hungry. That's
Snickers. You got close enough. Robitussin. Have a bottle of Robitussin. I know you're hungry, Betty White.
Ricola. Okay. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Hey,
Pepto-Bismol. Hey. Okay, so they the one like weird little piece of criticism I have is that like a lot of times lyrics I don't necessarily hear all of them, like distinct words, or it takes me a few listens to understand them. But the vibe is set so much with the instrumentals that it kind of doesn't matter, you know?
No, the guitar is pretty killer on this album, I have to say.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was produced and recorded by the band in their home studio that they built, and they built it so that they would have like a jam sesh and a place to record and stuff. It was mixed by touring guitarist Matthew Weber, who previously worked with Lewis Knight from American Idol and the Young Statues, which he's still a guitarist and vocalist for.
Interesting.
I don't know if you've heard the Young Statues.
I have not.
They're a little bit heavier. They're kind of in the same vein, but they're a little heavier than A Great Big Pile of Leaves. And it was mastered by Dave Downham of Beach Slang. Which is super cool that there was like crossover amongst these like other artists that are kind of in the same
same sphere.
So the album had a limited release of pre-sales, which was 300 180 gram black, 300 splatter records, and 900 marble smokes. Now
I don't know what that meant.
So it's the design of the record. So I got the marble smoke.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
So very pretty. The splatter is like it's basically an explosion of rainbow colors coming out from the center. And then they had a second press, which was of blue and white smoke, but they also released it on CD and cassette.
Nice. I like it when people have a little bit of fun with the actual color of the vinyl itself.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like when there's fun with the vinyl, and I like when they put a thought into the packaging of it. And I think like we notice it a lot more with like these indie bands, you know?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes with bigger artists and with bigger record labels, the vinyl pressing is a bit of an afterthought, where smaller bands know that the main, group of their audience will buy vinyl records off of them, so they put a lot of time and a lot of effort. Even though like we have when I bought Earth Tones on vinyl, like it was like pearl, ivory, white. It was fucking sick.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like that is an extra step that makes me appreciate the artist as a whole. It's like what we talk about with like the artwork as a part of the review.
Yeah.
It's like I think that it does mean a lot more to me when I see that there is actual thought put into it. It's not just like a picture of the band.
Well, it's cool it's cool too that they did a couple different releases for the actual vinyl color itself.
Yeah,
you had some options and you could pick and choose, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought that was super fucking dope. So the band had been working on ideas for the album since 2013 when their last album You're Always on My Mind was released. But they didn't put everything together right away.
Yeah.
So the last this is what Pete Wayland, who is their vocalist and guitarist, this is what he had to say in an interview with American Songwriter. The last record was a little more introspective, and this one connects all the songs. It's more outward thinking, and it's more about harmony and peace. A lot of the instrumental ideas happened over the course of the last 8 years, but the songwriting itself, the lyrical content, and the melodies began during 2020 from little nuggets of ideas that started years ago. The song doesn't really take form until I sit down with an acoustic and flesh out the lyrics and melodies and piece them together. And then their drummer, Tyler Soucy, adds, Pono went back to working out ideas in the space and jamming on things, working on really rough sketches of the songs. Then, when Pete did the vocals and melody and lyrics, it dictated where the final composition was going. So it's kind of cool because it sounds like they sit down and jam.
You're fucking touching the mic like crazy today, my
Dude,
guy.
I'm trying to get it in I'm trying to get it in a good spot, and it's fucking annoying me. It was really bothering me. I'm sorry. It's in a good place now.
You're in a good place now, Spencer.
I'm in a good place now.
Yeah, good. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, it sounds like they like that songwriting process comes through, I think.
Yeah.
Like it really feels
I was going to say it definitely feels like a labor of love, like they spent a lot of time with the music. Like everything is, like I said, it's like a perfect like chilling album.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can tell that they were like just jamming, having fun. Like it's really, really nice.
It's so cool.
Because I know you were a big fan, and I listened to a couple songs from you, but I never dove into like an album or anything myself. And I think we started listening to this like 2 weeks ago. We were gonna do this, and I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Because we were gonna record this last week, but we were busy last weekend, so we were like, oh, we'll just do a single episode.
Yeah.
Because everything, God was against us last week.
God was really against us last week.
Yeah, but you know what? It turned out well. So I had to listen, and I felt good about it. Anyways, I had to listen to this, and I felt good about it.
No, and like I actually am like, it's so funny because this is one of those bands that I've read a lot of people online talk about this too, where it's like it connects with a lot of people in the same way, where it's like, I want everyone to know who they are, but it feels like a piece of me because like every song you kind of have this weird relation to in a way. Like,
and one thing you mentioned too, like it feels nostalgic, but it also feels like a, modern indie music.
Yeah.
Like the nostalgic thing is not really like, oh, it sounds like old music. No, it doesn't. It sounds like a good chunk of indie music today.
Yeah.
But it has a nostalgic factor to it. I don't know where it comes from, maybe from the lyrics or the memories associated with it, but I get what you're saying.
I don't know why I'm glowing so much in this episode. I'm just like so fucking happy.
It's okay. It's because the caffeine has hit us now.
Yeah.
No, we fucking I chugged my coffee down. I feel good now too.
Okay, so in an interview with Stereo Gum, they also added, it's also possible to say that Pono actually took a month to complete. For that, we can thank Pete Whelan's wife, who gave him a deadline of New Year's Eve 2020 to put the album to rest. And she said that in the beginning of December, and that's just the push that I needed.
Sarah does that for me sometimes too, and she's like, can you put the dishes in the dishwasher? she like leaves.
I'm sorry, you're comparing an artwork album to fucking doing chores?
Yeah, well, Sarah pushes me to get them done. Like the other day, like she knows I have a phone and she knows she could text me, but she wrote a note on the fridge.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like, hey, I cleaned the kitchen. Can you take the garbage out and the recycling? And I was like, you know what? That was just the motivation I needed.
No,
so I went and I did it.
I
did it. So I get where he's coming from. I totally relate. His wife put a deadline on it. Like Sarah puts a deadline on small things for me. It's how men function.
Dude, it's so funny that you found the relation in that.
I have the ultimate relatability. It's little things, though, You see where I'm coming from, right, people?
I totally see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, so something else that's kind of cool. The album art was designed by Jamie Tellerico, who designed their 2013 cover for You're Always on My Mind. And that art style kind of became synonymous with the band, that like doodling sort of style in their artwork. You can also see it on my t-shirt. But it's funny because like I think their first album, have you seen My Prefrontal Cortex? It has this like kind of wackier art form, right? And it looks cool, but it doesn't match the band nearly as much as the last two album arts do. Like it just it looks like something that somebody in their late teens, early 20s would just draw up as like a mock for their fucking thing.
Yeah. No, I like that. I really do like the album cover. It's like something I'd like do on like paint. I like it, yeah. It's
yeah.
nice.
It's simple but powerful.
Sometimes simple is good. And one thing I do like about the specific vinyl pressing, obviously we talked about the color of the vinyl itself, but the sleeve is really nice too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sleeve is cool too. That's one thing I noticed when you pulled it out there. The sleeve is really cool on the inside.
The sleeve is really nice, and that is also a shirt that I have.
Oh, cool.
Is the inside sleeve, the doodles.
Nice.
I don't wear it nearly as much as I wear this one. I like this one better. I don't know. I just like this gray shirt.
You know what? I'm sure you have your reasons.
I have my reasons.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
They were both birthday gifts, so I'm appreciative of any of it. But okay, so let's get into about the artist. So a Great Big Pile of Leaves formed when Farewell to Arms, a band that guitarist and singer Pete Wieland and drummer Tyler Soucy were in, that it split up.
Yeah.
In an interview with AMP, Soucy said that Wieland and himself would always go to this brewery in their hometown after writing and recording. We'd sit there for hours talking about names, Google searching to see what had been taken, and it probably took us about a month to settle on the name A Great Big Pile of Leaves. It was actually one of Pete's first suggestions, and it just seemed to be a name that we kept circling back to, and one day it just stuck. I think it's pretty memorable, and I'd like to think that it stands out from the sea of band names out there today. He also described the name as being a throwback to being a kid and having fun.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, you know, when you rake up the leaves and you jump in them.
Yeah.
That's also kind of describes the nostalgia feeling you kind of get to. It does suit them. It really does. It does
really
suit
does.
the music, yeah.
It's like, it's this, and it's so funny because I remember my one of my best friends, Brody McCool, that's his real name, McCool. McCool.
And he is McCool.
He is McCool.
Yeah, he is.
He introduced me to A Great Big Pile of Leaves, and I remember listening to them for the first time, and I was like, damn, who is this? And he was like, oh, it's A Great Big Pile of Leaves. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, A Great Big Pile of Leaves. I was like, I'm never going to forget that.
No.
Like, that is so...
No, and if you think about it, too, if they were just like leaves, if their name was Leaves, it's like a little, you know, drab and a little too serious. And if it was a big pile of leaves, but like, how big?
Yeah.
Yeah, how
A
big is this
great
pile?
big.
Yeah, you needed something to describe how big the pile of leaves is. You know? I get it.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
It makes me think of when I was a kid, like a teenager, and I would have to rake our massive fucking lawn on the farm. And there would literally be a pile of leaves that was like the size of this half of the living room. So I would rake it underneath this tree that was like, I don't know, like 10 feet up.
Yeah.
I would make this giant pile of leaves, and then I would jump off of the branch of the tree into
Nice,
the
man.
leaves. It was fun.
See, we used to kind of do that with, well, in Newfoundland, there's so much snow. We used to get so much snow, so we climb up on the roof and we jump off the roof into the snow. And it was a lot of fun until, you know, the snow got hard. And then it stopped being fun, yeah.
There's nothing worse than like when you think it's going to be soft.
But man, I don't know anywhere else where we'd get fucking snowbanks that would be like 8 or 9 feet high in your front lawn. I remember one year, we got a snowstorm, and my dad had to shovel his way out of the front door. It was all the way up to the top, full of snow, and my dad had to shovel from the inside.
Holy
shit. To
shit.
get out. Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, they get so much snow. A great big pile of snow.
A great big pile of snow.
Yeah.
That's the Canadian counterpart to a great big pile of leaves.
A great big pile of snow.
Okay, so
in May.
After they got the band name and they were starting to work together on more music, the duo then moved from Connecticut to Brooklyn, New York in 2007, where they released their first 2 EPs, The Fiery Works 1 and 2. Both EPs were home recorded using recording equipment that members had collected. Both of these albums are actually pretty good because like you get like kind of the vibe of what they are.
Yeah.
I will say this though, one song, Tangerine, is one of my least favorite songs of all time.
Really?
It's so fucking not good. And like the rest of their work I love, but Tangerine is just the one song where I'm like, why did you do this? And it doesn't fit like the vibe of them at all either. It's just like it like you can get hints of their vibe, I guess, in it, but it's not like the rest of their album. Like they have a song on the Fiery Works 1 called This Is a Country Song. And it's a fucking great song, and it totally matches the vibe entirely.
But Tangerine doesn't do it for you.
Tangerine does not. It's like, hey, Tangerine! And it's just like, no, what are you doing? And I found those albums after I had found their other work. So
I'm more of a Mandarin guy anyways.
Yeah. They're easier to eat.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And there's less seeds. Less
seeds
involved, yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
I do like juicing tangerines, though.
I've never juiced anything.
Really?
I just buy my juice pre-juiced.
Oh man.
Yeah,
You're missing out.
I buy my pre-juice.
You know what's weird though is I actually think like it's way sweeter drinking like juiced juice.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Like and it's weird because there's not sugar added, but like it's just sweeter.
I never knew we'd have this conversation. I never knew you were so into juicing.
I am quite into juicing.
Really?
I like juicing.
You have a juicer?
I do not have a juicer. I have a hand juicer.
Is that just a euphemism for
No,
masturbating?
it's like a thing that's got a cup underneath and it's got like a peak and then like a little.
I thought you were talking about.
And you put
about
the
jerking
half
off.
the orange on it and you go like that and then it fills
okay.
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah.
I have one of those. I've juiced a lime like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make lemonade and I make homemade orange juice with that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it takes a long time with homemade
Yeah, and
orange
it takes like 15 oranges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it would go bad if I didn't do that.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm glad we spoke about this.
I am too.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Okay,
A great big pile of oranges.
A great big pile of oranges.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tucker Yarrow then joined the band as the bassist, and they began playing live shows.
Nice.
They didn't have financial or critical success at the start, but at a show in a church where there was hundreds of kids, they started playing, and everyone knew the words to their songs.
Oh, that's cool.
And they were like, this is weird, you know, because they're releasing their music online. They're like, you know, just doing these weird shows.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got done the show, like everybody loved them that was there. And then all these parents at the back of the room kept coming up and they're like, you know, I usually don't like my kids' music, but I really like you guys. And so like they had like this like connection with the audience that
Nice.
That really translated right away, which is cool.
And a wide appeal by the sounds of it.
A very wide appeal. So the trio then began recording their first LP in 2009, and when they were doing it, they were releasing teaser videos on YouTube of their recording process. They're all like 2 minutes long. I watched the ones that I could find online, and man, there's some really cool things in it. Like there's a part in the song "We Don't Need Our Hands" where there's a choral chant, right? And they showed the recording of it. They all went to a cabin in the middle of nowhere with like all their friends, and they're like tobogganing and fucking playing card games and stuff. And then they just set up a microphone in the middle of the room, and all their friends were like, "Oh, oh, oh,
That is cool.
oh, oh, oh." It was so cool.
That is cool,
I was
yeah.
like, "That's fucking
That's
sick."
fun. Get everybody involved.
Get everyone involved. And then they released their lead music video single for Alligator Bop on June 16th, 2010. It currently has 184,000 hits on YouTube. But the video is really cool, and I wish more people would see it because they stand in front of a chalkboard.
Yeah.
And they play the song like probably like 8 different times. They have some where it's just like one member of the band. They have some where it's like the whole band, and the chalkboard changes.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
they change like different backgrounds, and then they animate like chalkboard style stuff on top of the video.
That's cool.
It's really cool. Pretty fucking original.
I
idea.
haven't seen it. I'll have to give it a watch.
It's a fun one. It's one that I was like, that's fucking dope. Okay, so they released that on June 16th, and then on June 22nd, they released their debut album, Have You Seen My Prefrontal Cortex? Which is a great name for an album.
It's like, no, I haven't. I actually haven't.
And it released on vinyl 6 months later. In the meantime, they went on tour with Saves the Day, Motion City Soundtrack, Say Anything, The Appleseed Cast, and Hello Goodbye. So they were on tour like all the way like leading up to this. They were getting more popular because they're opening for these bigger like
Yeah, I see. I recognize the name Hello Goodbye because my sister used to listen to them quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know them, but they have the one song like I like Where We Are.
Yeah,
When we drive in your car. Yeah.
And I like
Where we are here.
Well, in Motion City Soundtrack, I recognized them right away. Okay, so in 2011, they released 2 limited edition EPs through Top Shelf Records. Boom, which was an acoustic that had stuff from Fiery Works 1 and 2, and Have You Seen My Prefrontal Cortex? And Live from the Living Room, which was recorded at their manager Jesse Johnson's house party.
Nice.
And I really dig both of them. There's an acoustic of Alligator Bop that's really good. There's an acoustic of This Is a Country Song that's really good. There's a great live recording of We Don't Need Our Hands. Really, really strong limited releases. And then in 2013, they released their sophomore album, You're Always on My Mind, with Top Shelf Records on July 2nd. Now, it debuted on the Billboard charts, and so this is where it was on the Billboard charts, because it was on 5 categories.
Yeah.
It was number 15 on Heat Seekers, Alternative New Artist number 8, Vinyl number 9, Internet number 20, and Independent Albums number 89. The recording process for that album only took 2 weeks.
Wow.
Which
nice.
is fucking insane.
I didn't know there were so many categories. Like, I've heard of the Heat Seekers. I never heard of the Internet one.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
That's strange.
I was trying to look up, like, past stuff, but Billboard makes you pay to look up
Oh, that's lame.
to the categories,
that's
and I
lame.
was like, I'm not going to do that. Although, I guess I could read it off for the podcast,
Yeah,
technically.
put it on your taxes.
It could be a tax write-off.
Yeah, smart.
But it was produced by Ed Ackerson of the Replacements and the Jayhawks.
Oh, that's cool.
And music blog site Brooklyn Vegan named it number 60 on their 100 best punk and emo albums of the 2010s. It was 2 above Pup's The Dream Is Over, which that's also a great album.
Yeah, it is. I like Pup quite a bit too.
Toronto band. DVP is one of my favorite songs. Don Valley Parkway. Fuck, it's a good song. Okay, so the band stopped touring in 2016 to focus on building their own recording space, and they needed a space for jamming so that they didn't have to rent one. And all of the guys hold jobs outside of the band. And this seems to be something that they just really enjoy. So this is more of a passion project. This is fun for them, and I think that's why their music is so good.
Which is cool. I mean, that they're they make such good music, and they're just like regular guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, and something that I think is really cool. So Tyler Soucy is a music publicist, but Pete Whelan, the vocalist and guitar player, he teaches special needs kids at a school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, him and his wife are both teachers, and he teaches special needs kids. So as soon as I found out about that, because I read about that in the Stereo Gum interview, and I was just like, that just like made him so much cooler.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, you know, this is like a group of good people. Like,
Yeah.
and that I don't know, that was really cool.
That definitely adds to it. Yeah, no, that's cool. Good for him.
Okay, so let's get into the notable tracks and singles. Beat Up Shoes and Hit Reset were like the 2 singles that came out.
Yeah, I really do like Beat Up Shoes.
Beat Up Shoes is really fucking good. I like the guitar in it that like do 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 doodle doodle do 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 doodle doodle, and like the stops and starts is really cool in that. My favorite song on the album, like the one that hit me because it reminded me so much of Alligator Bop, just in it, not even in its tone, but in its style, was Yesterday's Clothes.
Nice.
Because it's just such a fucking, like, I don't know, it's a cool song about, like, getting older, but, like, not hating the fact that you're getting older. And I don't know, I really liked that. Kitchen Concert's a fun song, too.
Yeah, I've had Halloween on repeat.
Oh,
yeah.
Halloween's
That's
much
probably
good.
my standout track on the album for me. I've been listening to that one on repeat the past week.
That's such a fucking good song. And you know what's funny is, like, when the album came out, I was like, I'm going to listen to this all October, and I did.
Nice.
2021
Nice.
October, I listened to it
See, that's a
almost
good
every
time
day.
too. Like I was saying earlier, it's a summer, but I think it's like a late summer, early fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could get into it when the leaves are changing.
That's kind of how I've always looked at them too, because like they like on You're Always on My Mind, they have a song called Back to School, and it's about like going to as many pool parties as you possibly
Nice.
can before summer's over.
Nice.
And like there's another song on the album, You're Always on My Mind, that makes me think of when we lived together in Toronto, because it's called Pet Mouse, and it's about these guys moving into an apartment, and it sucks, but there's a mouse in the apartment, and they're just like, yeah, fuck it, we got a pet mouse. It's like, got a new pet mouse, came free with the apartment.
I don't know if I told you this, but my dad came when we first moved in together, and he was like looking around the apartment. He's like, "Yeah, my first place was a shithole too." And I was like, "Thanks, Dad." I was like, "That makes me feel good." My first apartment. He's like walking around. He's like, like doing his dad hums and haws.
Oh my
And then
God.
he's like, "Yeah, it's not bad. My place was a shithole. My first place was a shithole too." And I was like,
Fuck,
"Thanks,
that's
Dad.
so
I
funny.
appreciate it. I appreciate it."
Dude, that's fucking hilarious.
That apartment wasn't that bad, but I mean, like, the one thing that did drive me crazy, that none of the walls were square. Like, everything was on an angle.
Everything was
it was like, nothing lined up. So you tried to put up furniture in the corner, and it wouldn't line up properly.
Corners would be like this or like this.
Yeah.
Like, because it was built at an angle to face the street.
Yeah, it was built on a street
but
angle.
it was, like, weird how they did it.
Yeah, it was bad. Like, the wall would come in, like that.
Like, where the desk was in the corner, there was just, like, a fucking space that big.
There was good, like, a half a foot gap,
Fucking awful.
Such a weird bill. He was old, too, and fucking, there's so many stories about that apartment.
So many fucking stories about
the fucking
that
weird neighbors.
Oh, God.
Our neighbors fucking had beef. Our downstairs neighbor and our next door neighbor had beef, and the next door neighbor went downstairs and cut the guy's internet wire.
Yeah. And then we had to call the cops.
Yeah.
And fucking, like, report it, because we were like, well, that's fucked.
It was all over a fucking parking space, and they would scream and yell at each other, and then when the guy was done screaming and yelling at the guy downstairs, he'd scream and yell at his girlfriend all fucking
and the
night.
guy downstairs would scream and yell at his wife.
Yeah,
so it was like, there was nonstop screaming and yelling.
I remember you could hear it through the vents, and they, like, owned a store downstairs, and I'd be, like, taking a fat shit, and I just hear him, like, yelling at his wife. He's like, we have bills to pay, and he's, like, Persian. He's like, fucking bills, and blah, 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 blah. He's like,
was he Persian or Italian?
No, he was Persian.
Oh, shit, I thought he was an Italian.
No, he was from Iran.
Damn, okay.
Which explains why he treated his wife like that. It does make sense. It does make sense. Yeah, not to stereotype people from Iran, but
no, he was not a good man.
He was not a good man. No.
It's so funny because, like,
yeah.
Okay, the other track I was gonna bring up was Writing Utensils, like the last track on the album. So that was originally a different version of it was released like back in like 2012. They did like a really small EP that I can't find anywhere, so I fucking haven't been able to listen to it. But Writing Utensils was on that. They redid it for this album, and now it sounds like something that's at the end of Have You Seen My Prefrontal Cortex? Like, this album kind of feels like a culmination of, like, finding the best parts of both of their previous albums and putting it together.
It makes sense too, because I mean they were working on it for such a long time. They started back when they were doing that sort of style off my I can't even fucking speak. Anyways, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You understand my point.
I got you.
Thanks.
I got you back.
Thanks.
Okay, so okay, so let's get into the reception.
Yes.
So I couldn't find the chart numbers because Billboard makes me pay for things, and it wasn't on their Wikipedia because nobody's updated it yet.
No.
But I do know that it was added to basically all of the big Spotify and Apple playlists when it first came out. This last year, they had 3.2 million streams on Spotify alone.
Fuck yeah.
So I imagine it was pretty fucking high up there, especially when you account for like the pre-sales on their vinyl. Like, those all sold out. So I can't imagine that it wouldn't have charted on the vinyl charts. You know, it was probably like pretty high up there.
Especially because they have charted before, so I would imagine that they could get back on there. So.
And especially when it's been like 8 years since their last album. Like, people were very excited about it coming out. I have a couple of things that I found from reviewers that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
So Yo-Yo Mancuso on Sputnik Music, which is like people can like submit their own reviews and stuff of music, not of stuff.
Of stuff.
Of stuff. That's got to be on our merch.
Yeah.
Of stuff.
Of stuff.
Spencer.
Reviews of stuff.
Reviews of stuff. Misfits on vinyl. But they gave it a 4.5 out of 5, and they said, PONO doesn't reinvent the wheel because it doesn't have to. New influences and attitudes can be found in the little nooks and crannies of this record, which you'll probably find yourself investigating because of how rewarding repeat listens of PONO are. I felt like that was a pretty good one.
That is a good review. That's better than some of the ones we read from big magazines.
Yeah,
like the Rolling Stone.
Like the Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Which, guess who has never covered them? The fucking Rolling Stone.
Yeah, fuck them.
Okay,
we're gonna beef them.
The Alternative's Jordan Walsh. Any relation?
No.
Okay.
I don't have any Jordans. Phil's and Leo's, that's family names.
Phil's and Leo's?
Yeah,
okay.
but no Jordans.
No Jordans.
No.
It's like you combine my middle name with your last name.
What's your middle name?
Jordan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that.
Yeah.
This is literally your email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't fucking dox me. There's a reason I have my middle name as my email, you fuck.
He got doxed. It's Jordan Streicher. 191919. Suck my dick. DocSpencer@gmail.com. all like 16 listeners. Send him spam emails.
You know
sign him up for things he doesn't want to be signed up for.
Hey,
newsletters. Fuck him over.
We have 100 listeners each episode.
Oh, sorry.
Now, I will say.
I didn't mean to downplay our success.
We have listeners in Sri Lanka now.
Sri Lanka?
Yeah, we got
what
Sri
the
Lanka.
fuck? What up?
Yeah,
what up, Sri Lanka?
Ukraine.
India? I have mad
Japan?
respect for Sri Lanka because they went and swam in the president's pool. Did you see that shit?
No.
So they were fucking like protesting the president because they got mad inflation. Like the government spent stupid amounts of money they didn't have. They're in super debt. So they rioted, right? And they went to the president's palace and they fucking jumped in his pool. There was like 60 people like fucking in this pool. Like they're running around with shit in his palace. Yeah, he fucking left. You didn't know this?
No,
it's because I listened to the CBC. I'm just sophisticated.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the CBC, so I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, it's true. I wouldn't want to listen to it too if you were on. No, just kidding.
Do you know where else we're on?
Where?
Namibia.
Namibia.
Did
coffee.
you know that Namibia is one of the only countries in the world that does not have a accessible coastline?
No.
Because of the Namibia Desert. It stretches along the entire coastline, and the shallow sandbars make it impossible for barges to come in.
What a cruel joke. Imagine you're like stuck in the desert and you're like see the water, you're like, I can't
drink that water.
No, I can't drink it and I can't even get near it.
Yeah.
I can't even like bathe myself.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That would be fucking horrible.
So if you're listening in Namibia and you're stuck in the desert and you're listening to us, we're sorry. I'm sorry for you.
I feel like anybody in Namibia that is listening is probably in the capital city.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm not kidding, 500 miles away from the coast.
Nice.
Which is very weird.
Which is strange. Yeah, usually people have coastline cities are their capitals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for an African nation. Like it's basically a landlocked nation, even though it has one of the biggest coastlines in the world.
We appreciate you listening to us.
We do.
That's a really good, interesting fact, Spencer. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had such a wide reach.
I am
didn't know.
Cornell graduate, so
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
My apologies.
I do know a lot about sharks. The pectoral fin. Anyways, okay.
Nice.
Fucking hell. That derailed so bad. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We always derail.
Okay, so the alternatives, Jordan Walsh gave it a great score. Now, they have a different scoring system. They have disappointing, average, good, great, and phenomenal. He gave it great, and he said it may still be a fantasy to bask a little in everyday joys, but a great big pile of leaves have proven that their knack for it is as vital as ever. Because this album did come out, middle of the pandemic. This is like right at the tail end of like the when shit really sucked. So it was kind of a necessity for the time, I feel. Now, Abby Jones from Pitchfork gave it a 7.2 out of 10.
Nice, Abby.
Yeah, thank you, Abby, for giving it a good score. And she said, there's something poignant about a band like A Great Big Pile of Leaves, who, for most of their fan base, serve as a soundtrack to reminiscence and yearning. Releasing an album so focused on this behavior, many of the anecdotes on PONO are best served with this kind of hindsight. After all, the freedom of adulthood you crave as a teen almost never feels as transformative as you'd expect. And once aspirational antics like waking up in yesterday's clothes, as Wayland sings on the opener, become less enchanting with age. Perhaps PONO should be taken less at face value and more as a case for enjoying whatever season of your life you're experiencing at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's great. I feel that way too. Remember how many times in like first, second year university I'd like sleep on a futon, somebody's house after drinking, and like wake up, my back's all fucking sore.
Oh, yeah.
You're like wearing fucking nasty old clothes, and I was like, oh yeah, that was fun. No, it wasn't.
No.
Not now.
And you pull all-nighters back in the day, man, like, and you feel like it's, like you're invincible.
I know, and I'm not even old now, and I fucking feel that way. Like I was after Christmas Eve, I got super drunk on Christmas Eve. I was fucking hungover for like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
I was like, this fucking sucks, dude.
It's not worth it anymore. Like,
No.
I actually have a problem with it where, like, it sucks. The other night at Tea House, a bunch of audience members kept buying us shots. Like, and a lot of the other comics fucked off, so then I was just the one that was getting all these shots, right? Like, people were just like, oh, I fucking loved it. Anyways, I woke up yesterday morning, and I was dead.
Yeah.
I was like, this sucks.
I don't even really get a headache anymore. Like, my body just, like, gives up.
Yeah, I just I feel tired and I feel like I'm gonna puke.
Yeah,
those are the two symptoms.
No, I get bad now with the lights. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, fucking. I mean, Forrest actually was saying, "Oh, I'm an old man. I'm cramping." No, dude, he fit right in.
He fit right in.
No, I go outside like fucking after drinking too much. I used to never be so sensitive to light, but I'm like, oh my fuck, especially my left eye. My left eye is always closed.
Oh yeah,
yeah. No, it's bad,
dude. I hate the feeling like I'll get like it feels like I got punched in the gut,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh god, this really sucks.
Yeah, no, I don't even really drink that much anymore. I'm used to fucking love to have a good beer or two.
Yeah. Now I'm like, this is honestly my drinking nowadays. Like maybe 2 Guinness.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 Guinness, or else like a Scotch.
Mm-hmm. Well, even like 2 years ago when I first moved. Well, I guess almost 3 years. Well, 3 years now when I moved back. Me and my brother were like hanging out all the time, and we didn't like our jobs, and like we did every weekend we just fucking pound beers, fucking hang out. I was like, no, you can pay me to do that again.
Yeah,
no, I could literally like you could say, oh, you can quit your job, and all you have to do is drink beers on a Friday night and get like fucked up.
Most people who, if that's all they do, they don't have a job.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
true. But no, I can't do it anymore. I don't know what it is. I have like maybe like a good 5 big nights a year.
Yeah,
I think that's all I got in me now.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when your job is in bars.
Yeah,
and then you're just like, I cannot actually because I might die.
I honestly didn't think at 24 I'd be that guy that just wants to go home, but now he's that guy now. Yeah, after like feeling like I had to be the life of the party for a long time, now I'm like, no, I'm good to go home. I like the old Irish exit. That's my favorite thing.
Oh, I love a good Irish
goodbye. The Irish exit. Like, I hate saying goodbye. Just fucking peace.
Yeah.
It's the best, especially when you're drinking. It's like, oh, I'm gone.
You know what? One of my things that I thought about, like right before the pandemic, like 2019, I did Shakespeare in the Park here, right? And every Sunday night, like we had Mondays off, so every Sunday night there'd be a big party. I remember going to one party. And keep in mind, too, I'm in, like, the best shape of my life at that point. Like, I mean...
I remember you were working out, riding your bike everywhere.
Working out, riding my bike. Yeah, I had a trainer. I was eating well, everything. Like, I was in good fucking shape. I went and bought a bottle of wine. I show up to this party. I walk in, and they're like, oh, you brought wine? Well, that's cool. That was nice of you. And I was like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, well, I thought we were all going to have some. I was like, wine is not a sharing drink. And I cracked it, and I chugged the whole thing in that fucking moment.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Dude, the next day, I woke up, and I used to have this formula where I would put all of my pots and pans leading to the bathroom. So I could tell when I got too fucked up because I'd wake up the next day and there'd be a different pot and pan like all the way to the bathroom because I thought then at any point I can pick up a pot if I need to puke and just puke into it while I walk to the bathroom instead of just leaving one beside the bed and carrying it.
Yeah. It makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the review of this album.
Oh, I was gonna say one more thing.
Oh yeah.
I think that sums it up, and I think kind of ties into it. The album too is we talked about getting older and not being upset about it. I think I kind of lost the FOMO thing, man. I used to have the FOMO thing. Like like every time, like even though I wasn't feeling it, I'd like go and like feel like I had to go or like I was gonna miss out. I don't think I have that anymore. I think it's kind of gone out of me. You know, I feel like I can say no and say I don't have to go or I don't want to or
I feel good about saying no.
Yeah, I think some of it's too is because I'm happy being at home. I'm happy in the situation. I think it makes a huge difference.
I also think like this is me personally, but because my work is like either I'm traveling somewhere or I'm out at night anyways, I just don't want to fucking go out. I'm like, if I have a night at home, it's nice. I like sitting down, listening to a record, reading a book, watching a movie. Like I'm like, that's fucking fun for me. Or like hanging out with friends. I'm like, yeah, we can like. I like going, like, I'll say this, Ship and Anchor, my favorite place to go in the city because I like to just, like, I know all the staff, I can walk in and just hang out with a friend. Like, there's always somebody there that I know. But I do that at, like, 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon, and then I'm out by like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean now too. Like I think like it used to be like, oh, go out, go to a party or go to a club. Or like now I just like if I'm gonna go out with my buddies, I'm gonna go out and we're gonna talk for like 5 hours, 6 hours, and that's fucking way better.
That's
man.
So much more
way
fun.
Better, dude. You have great conversations. Like me and you, we've had. I don't know how many fucking conversations going out. Me and Sam,
Yeah.
we used to go out for beers and we'd have crazy conversations for like 4 hours, 5 hours after work. Like,
Dude,
I love that shit.
We'd fucking the time that we walked back to my place from downtown.
Yeah.
When you came back to visit,
We walked like fucking an hour and a half.
yeah,
man. Yeah, and we just
like,
talked.
We fucking picked up. We were walking by a liquor store, so we bought like a fucking Mickey, and we were just like,
we went to one of the shady liquor stores where the door locks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to buzz in and buzz out. Yeah,
there was an adult store literally right beside it.
Nice. Yeah, well, we picked up activities for later.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our little about us, I guess, little personal
Well, and
touch
it's
of where
funny
we're
though,
at our
because,
life.
like, I think the only thing that I get like excited about going out and doing is like something like Folk Fest.
Yeah.
Like I love going to Folk Fest because like, yeah, I might be drinking the whole day, but it's different because I'm seeing friends I haven't seen in a long time. We're sitting in a park. We're listening to music. We're able to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Nobody's rowdy. Nobody's trying to fight.
It's
you know?
it's going out with a purpose. Like, it's
Yeah.
a little different than just for going out. Like, you're going out to catch up, have a conversation, go see a concert. Yeah, it's with a purpose.
with a purpose.
Look at us. We've matured.
We've matured.
We've matured. Sam, have you matured? Sam is matured too.
Sam is matured.
I know he's matured because he's rocking a mustache.
He is.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The audience still doesn't know what Sam looks like.
Do they? Have they never seen you? Sam?
They have not seen Sam's face.
We're
we
gonna
will-
keep it that way, or what?
I like put in little hints of myself in some episodes. If I like, I forget what episode it was, but I was walking back from fixing Spencer's microphone and I cut it. But I purposely left like 3 frames where you see my arm.
Nice,
Ooh.
nice. Ooh, the slow, sexy reveal.
Yeah, like,
So
I'm
they-
teasing myself.
They know what his wrist looks like.
They know I'm white.
That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say Samwise, Samuel, Samathan. That's good.
Samathan.
Samantha.
Samantha.
Samantha. Whoa! The female version of Sam. Whoa!
Jesus Christ.
Whoa,
Dude,
Whoa.
I wasn't even thinking. That's crazy.
That blew my mind so much I got a cough.
Samantha.
Samantha. Anyways, Pono.
Semantics. Okay. Pono. We're going to give it every episode we rate our albums. We rate it out of 10, and these categories are technical, musical, lyrics, album art, reception, and does it hold up? Okay, so for technical, I would say it's mixed very well. There is, like, to me, it sounded like you're in the room, which I think is an interesting thing, but it didn't sound like a live album. Like, it just feels like you're in the room. Listening to it on vinyl specifically, you have this, like obviously vinyl sounds warmer, but it really feels like they're right there.
Yeah, it's like we described it earlier. It sounds like a jam session. Like it really does sound like a jam session. Not that it sounds muddy, but it certainly isn't like the crispest thing of all time. But
Yeah,
I really like it. No,
Yeah.
I give it a good grade on this one.
Yeah, I'd probably give it an 8.5.
8.5. I'll go 8.
8. All right, so
8.25.
8.25.
Nice. I'm getting good at math now too.
Musical. Now,
Musical. Ooh.
I think the guitar really stands out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's interesting because the bass doesn't overpower it. It really complements it. And I think the drums, it really sounds like a drum and guitar band.
Yeah.
You know, also I would put vocals under musical category instead of lyrics, right? But I think it's interesting because there is that slow and low vocals, but it still has power.
Yeah.
So I would go pretty high on this one. I'd probably go with a 9 on musical element.
Musical, okay. I might go a little lower, just because, like one of the reviews said, in which I agreed with, it's not like reinventing the wheel. It still sounds very great, but it's like, I mean, it's tough nowadays to make something that's completely original.
Yeah.
Not that is, the biggest deciding factor on this category anyways, but I'll go, you win a 9?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go an 8. I'll go 8 on
All
it,
right,
yeah.
so we're at 8.75
Good
right
math.
now.
Quick math.
Lyrics. Okay. I really like the lyrics because they are nostalgic and there's a lot of fun in them. There's nothing that's really bad in these lyrics, which I think is interesting because I don't know. I noticed when you're in high school, you want to hear stuff that's like, fuck the system, man.
Yeah.
And-
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. And I feel like this is not that vibe at all. So it's very different. I will say I think the lyrics are pretty original. Like I think what they're singing about is pretty original when you got like, specifically for this album, like water cycles about like fish swimming upstream and like going to spawn. Like, what a fucking
Well, one thing too, I think, is like the album itself gave us, a conversation where we were, reflecting on ourselves through the lyrics and the content of the album.
Yeah.
Reflecting on where we were in our life. So I think you have to give it a good rating. If anything forces you to actually reflect on your own life, I think it's powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful lyrics. So I would give it a good mark. I'm going to go 8.
8.
I'm going 8 across the board so far. So.
8 across the board so
Yeah,
far? Okay,
no.
I'm going to go 8.5, and then that puts us at 8.5.
8.5.
Okay, album art. Okay, I'm not just including the front and back of said album. I feel like because there was so much thought that was put into the sleeve, the different vinyls, with like the different colors of vinyl. Top. I would go quite a bit higher on this one.
Pretty. That's pretty.
I'd give it a 9 for the album art because like even though the front is simple, there's a lot of different aspects that were added to it in various capacities,
Very careful with it.
especially for different versions of it.
That's a very pretty album. And like the outside obviously is simple, but it looks really great. Even the back is nice. The red looks nice. Contrast to the white. But the actual vinyl itself and the inside sleeve, like we talked about earlier, I'm going to go high on that too.
Yeah.
I'll go 9.
Yeah.
I'll go 9 on that. I think you could tell that they put a lot of thought into it, and I respect it.
Yeah. All right. So now we're at a 9. Reception. I mean, it's like 7 out of 10 because of like how it's really fucking skewed across the board.
Yeah, and it's also tough too because they're not a huge band either. It's tough to give them a very high reception score because they're still small.
Yeah.
So in the grand scheme of things, like I mean, 3.2 million listeners is huge.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of the music world, it's not that huge.
Not that huge. Yeah.
So I'll go 6 on it. I'll give them a 6. Yeah.
6 and a 7. Okay, so we're at 8.25 now again. Does it hold up?
I mean, yeah.
I would say yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I mean it's classic.
And I think honestly, like based on their other albums, I think that this is going to be an album I'm still listening to in 10 years. Like it's interesting. This is a band where like I every day probably do listen to them.
Yeah.
Which is it's rare, like they're like even my favorite album of all time, Hall & Oates' Abandoned Luncheonette, I maybe listen to it once a week.
Yeah.
Whereas I can throw on their Spotify and listen, or like one of their albums that I have, because here's the other thing. They're one of the only bands where I actually buy their music.
Yeah, nice.
which makes a difference. Like it's not like I'm just streaming.
No,
it.
and
like,
you buy their merch too.
I buy their merch, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you're a big fan.
I'm a big fan.
I think it absolutely holds
I'm a
up.
great big fan of A Great Big Pile of Leaves.
Nice. You are a great big fan.
All right, so 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
That works.
Awesome. Well,
right.
Thank you so much for listening to Misfits on Vinyl. Anal contusions.
Pow.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Misfits on Vinyl, hosted by Spencer Streikert and me, Aaron Walsh, and of course produced by Sam the Tech Man, Sam Lindsay. If you like us, please rate us, subscribe to us, share us. Our socials are Misfits on Vinyl Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to send us an email with any suggestions or criticisms, we love that shit, so send it away. It's misfitsonvinyl@gmail.com. We love you guys. Thank you.